Man, y'all look amazing. Thank y'all so much for coming. As we keep saying over and over again, we really handpicked these ladies. I just can't wait. Okay, let's just get to it. So, okay, as I mentioned, this is the Music and Arts panel. One thing about me is music is life for me. I'll always give credit to my dad for being the best. He has the best taste in music. So since I was a kid, he put me on so many dope artists like Sting and the Police, or Alexander O'Neal, Michael Jackson, and the list goes on and on. Like, it's everything to me. I have a playlist for every mood that I'm in. I have a playlist for the weather. I got a playlist. You know how you can match songs to the weather? I do that too. I have a playlist for when I work out. However, I don't use that playlist often. But that's none of y'all business. Anyways, but no, if we can keep it real, shout out to Mina. If we can keep it real, there's some whack lyrics out there, you know, in the world or whatever. But the thing about it is a song can really, the beat to a song is really the piece to the pie, if we being honest. So there can be songs where the lyrics, first of all, you got Migos, freaking Future, you don't even really understand what they're talking about, but that beat so loud where you really rock with the song, thanks to the producer. So speaking of, Tay, can you tell us a little bit about what got you inspired to become a producer, radio host, and that's just to say the least. Give us a little.
Honestly, I started off as a jazz musician. I played jazz trumpet. Went to HSPVA here, and from that, I was like, okay, what can I do with this? Because, you know, you don't think of a woman being I'm going to say being a musician, but being a trumpet player. So I'm like, okay, how can I expand this? I started songwriting, started producing, started creating songs and having other people sing them. And that's what got me into like the Grammy Foundation and Grammy Camps and into the Clive Davis Institute of New York. And it's just been ever since, just been doing music and starting to host, now it's the Al Roker Show on 101.5, it's a new station here. I just realized that as an artist, as a creative, that my voice had so much more power than being behind the boards. So that started actually, 3 months ago. So both things have just been additives of each other.
You're phenomenal. Another fun fact about me, which I actually love you even more because I played the violin and I also played the flute. Cool. And my sister went to HSPVA. She's the current Miss Texas. Shout out to and so that's awesome. But previously we actually talked to you about your 2016. I know you shared with us you were...
You're going to go straight for the jugular.
Yeah, we're just going to get right into it, okay? You were actually robbed. A show you had was canceled, and you totaled your car, leaving you unable to walk.
Girl.
Which is you're walking on the stage, you're looking flawless.
So 2016 was a spiral of a year. When I heard April speaking earlier, I was just kind of like, I thought it was going to be one of those years where I'm like, yes, it's on, I'm popping. I was managing 3 recording studios out in LA at the time, and had stepped away to build my own brand, got an opportunity to DJ out in China, and they wanted me. It was awesome until they took all my money. So, well, we'll get to that part. It was a 3-month contract and with an option to extend for 6 months at about $10,000 a month, only DJing 3 hours a week. And I was like, okay, cool, that sounds cute, per diem. Everything paid for, meals paid for. I said, it's almost the end of my lease in LA. I'm gonna pack up everything and just go out to China. Get out there, and the promoter at the middle of the second month to the end of the second month, ran away with all my money. And $200,000 extra.
Holy.
So I was stranded in China, never been there before, didn't know anybody, and I was boo-hoo crying. Like, every day I was just sitting there like praying, trying to figure out. Because I don't say I came there with nothing, but I came there with the plan that, okay, this cute little $30,000 is gonna be my seed money for everything else that I want to do as a creative, as an entrepreneur. 30,000 is not something to blink an eye at,
Yeah.
right? And so, at that moment, I was like, okay, what am I going to do from here? And part of me had the faith that if I prayed hard enough, this is one of the things where you can't force God's hand, you know? Because part of me believed, I believe in law of attraction, I believe in, you know, you can will things into existence, but certain things aren't meant to be willed into existence. Let's keep it real. So I was like, he's going to come back, they're going to figure it out. And he was telling me this too, mind you, he was keeping in touch with me while he was skedaddling with my money. So I wanted to believe in the best in people and the best in him, that he was going to come back and with my money. So hearing about your story as well, like about the boutique running off with your money, I was like, all right. So after, I want to say 2 to 3 more weeks of staying out there, living on my own money, spending everything, because I was now in an apartment that they did not pay for, I had to come home to Houston. And I'm gonna be honest, I told myself I would never, ever, ever live back in Houston. Not because I don't love Houston, but as I'm sure many creatives know and musicians know, LA and New York are the meccas. Right. So came back, at the time, earlier in that year, I'd helped my mother get a TV show on Kween. It was called Sisters-in-Law. I don't know if any of you ever saw that show. Yeah. And so they had one season. They were set to do the second season in September. At this point, leaving China was the end of the summer, August. The president of Kween, he had a meeting with him and said, we want you to be on the show, you're youthful, you're this, you're that. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That's why God wanted me to be back in Houston. I get back to Houston. September comes, October comes. We get a call from the president of Kween. He said, I tried fighting for it, I voted for it, but the panel was 4 against 3. The show is being canceled. I was like, okay, all right, what are we doing now? So now we're at the end of October, it's getting into November. I said, okay, all right, I'm just gonna hustle, figure out something to do, and right after Christmas, because it had been about almost a decade since I had spent that much time here. I said, okay, I'm going to just gather myself together right after the holidays and head back to LA. Even if I only have enough for an apartment, whatever, I'll figure it out, have connects. The day after Christmas, my car and I fell 30 feet off of 288 and the Beltway. And I walked away from it. God is amazing. I walked away from it and it was fun. Yes, it was angels, girl. Off the freeway, across 6 lanes of traffic and into a concrete embankment. And for the first 3 days I was fine. Then all of a sudden one day I went to get in the bed and my legs started convulsing and just stopped. I couldn't move them. I was freaking out, I was crying, I was calling my mom. And I was in her house, I was like, Mom, what's going on? So for 3 months, I had to do extensive physical therapy to be able to walk regularly. I had a back brace for the longest. And after that, again, I was like, I think anybody could be like, shoot, I'd be depressed after that. I was like, ooh, I don't know what to do next. And it took me about another 6 months or so to realize, clearly, this is where God has planted me. And it's meant for me to bloom where I'm planted. That's it.
You're an awesome storyteller.
Thank you.
Okay. But wow, like I said, you are literally a walking miracle.
Thank you.
Shout out to Jesus one time. How did that moment shape you? Because like you said, it's like you went to China. You went out there with, I'm not gonna say $1 in a dream.
Basically.
And you're thinking, it's kind of like you have this whole plan, right? And you're trying to go to A, B, C, D, E. Y'all see something on Instagram where they say your plan and it's like this and they it's like scribble.
And it's like if you were to go on social media, people, even I have friends here that didn't know this story, you wouldn't thought that any of that happened. But I'm sorry, tell me one more time.
Just tell us, how did that moment shape you into who you are today?
Honestly, my key word, my theme word since then has been resilient. I have a bracelet that has it on it. I think about that all the time. And I also realize that, you know, sometimes, like I said, our plan for us is not God's plan for us, but it is for us to do the best with what we have and what we've been given. And to there we go, and be appreciative and gratitude. So what I've learned is just gratitude in all things. I'm here, you know, I'm walking, I'm over here rebuilding my brand in my hometown, which, you know, my dream was always to be like, oh, I'm gonna be, you know, I did work with a lot of celebrities. I worked at Atlantic Records, Sony, all of that. And I was like, I'm gonna get to the pinnacle and then I'm gonna come back. But now I'm like, hey, I'm realizing I'm being called to lift as I climb and help lift other people, doing events here, curating. You know, I have an event called Living Room Social that's on first and third Sundays at House of Blues, and my goal is to create an artist community here. So many times you hear Houston has so many creative people, so many musicians, and one pops off, but we don't have like this network of support here that they have in Atlanta, that they have in New York and LA. So I realize I've just been called to do something different and staying truthful and faithful to that, regardless of how I thought it was supposed to be.
So now I want to talk to you, Adriana. Actually, earlier this year, you experienced your mother passing away exactly 10 days before your birthday. And actually, I want you to tell us the story. Tell us about that.
Well, it's been 3 months now. Just made 3 months on the 23rd. That was hard. There's no, I guess, cookie cutter way to put it into a phrase or a saying or anything like that. It's just, it is what it is. My mom had been dealing with a lot of things over the course of her life, and I've been with her throughout that entire time. My mom was the definition of a fighter. Before she passed, she was checked into the hospital for one issue. But most oftentimes when we go to the hospital for one thing, they find something else, right? And in her case specifically, the one thing that they found, they couldn't address the issue that she came in for until they fixed the issue that they found. So she spent 30 days in the hospital. She was released on the first day of spring, which was ironic because it's her favorite time of the year. She loved the flowers and colors and all those things. I picked her up from the hospital, we went home, got up the stairs, she passed out in my arms. So I had to call 911, I had to let them know what's going on. At the same time, trying to go over in my head, you know, every step we took. I was at the hospital with her around the clock all the time, trying to figure out what happened, what could have went wrong from the time I pulled off from the hospital to the time I got to my house. So I'm trying to figure out what exactly went wrong. And it was just really, I don't know, it was mind-boggling, but at the same time, it was comforting because she had a smile on her face. So I knew that she was finally at peace. Even though I wasn't at peace at that time, I knew that she no longer had to suffer. So yeah.
It's amazing because you were actually the one calling 911, making the calls, and not to compare experiences, but she passed out in your arms, and you not only had to make the arrangements, but you had to be there for your dad and your siblings and just make all those calls. So my question to you is, considering society's expectations of the black woman, if we can all agree, people expect black women to be the burden carriers or the healers of other people. And so my question to you is in that time, do you feel like you were pressured to fulfill that expectation, or was it one that you placed on yourself?
I definitely felt the pressure. It wasn't like it was something that was a surprise. I'm the oldest girl, so my mama always said I was the oldest girl for a reason. I would have to take care of these boys, my daddy included. So knowing that, I knew that the things that my mom instilled in me would prepare me for what was ahead of me. I knew that, you know, my dad wouldn't be able to talk to the funeral home. He wouldn't be able to make certain arrangements. He wouldn't be able to make certain phone calls. He wouldn't be able to talk to certain doctors, you know, coroners, things like that. I knew that I would have to put on that hat and take care of it. And in that moment, it's like, it doesn't click really, because I believe as black women, it's like a switch that goes off, and like we're like in Supergirl mode, right? Yeah, exactly, the fight or flight response. And so it's like, okay, well, we gotta get this done. It's like, yeah, everybody around me may be crying, they may be falling out, you know, people jumping over caskets and stuff, but, you know, for me, I don't have that luxury at this time. At this time, I need to focus. I need to make sure things are getting handled. I need to make sure, you know, payments are being made, arrangements are being made, people are being fed, everybody's comfortable, you know, because most oftentimes, as we know in the black community, funerals are also family reunions. So it's also about, you know, connecting with different people, talking to different people, maybe talking about things you don't want to talk about, or sometimes you don't remember. But it's like the pressure is there, but it's up to you to decide if you want to pick it up and, you know, charge on with it, or if you just want to go ahead and be like everybody else and falter. That's not in my genetic makeup. It's never been in my genetic makeup, so I knew that, okay, I can take care of this now and I can grieve later, but right now, my mama want me to get this done.
Right. It seems like we're on this theme of, you know, going through these major adversities that push us towards our purpose, or just these aha moments, right? So Andrea, you actually lost your job 2 months after you moved into your first apartment. And I just want to know if you can briefly tell us about that experience and how did that push you towards your purpose?
Oh Lord. So honestly, maybe a week before I did, a week before I did lose my job, I remember journaling, like I sensed a change coming. I didn't know what it was, but I knew, you know, like I was already praying for something different. And so it came and it was like, whew. But honestly, when it happened, I was excited. Because I'm the type of person that likes to go into challenges because I know that I'm going to grow as a result of them. And so I felt like God was making a move that I wasn't going to move on my own because I was scared, you know, the unknown. Just graduated college, and so it's just like, whew, Lord, this life is coming to me. But I was excited until I called my dad and had like that reality check of, yo, you in this apartment, you ain't got no job, you know? And so honestly, it was a very trying time, but a lot has come from it. Just because like I moved to my dad's house, what, 2-3 weeks ago, and I've never lived with my dad before. And so it's like a lot more going on than just losing that job, you know, it needed to happen. But honestly, through the process, one thing that I learned is just like, no matter what I'm doing, no matter where I'm working, no matter what's going on outside of me, I need to be producing. I need to be creating, because I have a vision, and so the vision ain't gonna get done, or it's not gonna get stopped just because this obstacle comes up. Right. And so like just with my mindset, like, you know, and some people don't understand, but whenever something like that happens to me, I don't feel like it's something wrong, or, you know, like my life, of course it feels like my life is going in shambles, and I can talk like this right now, but I be crying, you know. So, you know, I don't wanna act like I'm just like a soul survivor all the time, but, you know, yeah, like even in the hard times, or even when I am crying, in the back of my mind, it's just like, I'm good. I know that I'm gonna be good. I know that there's a purpose for this. I know, you know, and so it's just a time of really putting faith into action. Because everybody can say, oh, I got faith, you know, God got me, until you're going through it. And it's like, oh, Lord, where you at? Why is this taking so long, you know? And so like, you know, I feel like this was that first real life shift for me, you know, coming out of college. Adulting, it's a trap, y'all, it's a trap. For real.
I swear I've been trying to taste financial freedom since I moved out. It's so real.
Yeah, so it's crazy, but you know, I feel like it was that first obstacle where it's like, are you really about this, or are you just going to say, okay, well, I'm just going to go to this job because it's comfortable, you know? So yeah, it was a trying time, but I feel like it definitely put me in the mindset of, regardless of what's going on, I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
That's amazing. Y'all were saying some really good stuff, but Adriana, today you are actually a powerful author. Okay, y'all, let me tell y'all something. So she's a poet, right? And I don't know if you can hear it the way she talks. My mother had a smile on her. Yeah. She gave me Jill Scott vibes, but anyways, take towards booking those paid opportunities or those opportunities to share your gift?
Well, it took some time. There was a lot of pro bono work done for about 20